So in the previous video we have just completed our last chapter, that was chapter number 7. Now we will start again the chapter number 1 revision as a revision portion. So we are just starting from this video revision of all the chapters. So in this video we will see revise the chapter number 1. So the chapter number 1 is soil erosion and soil conservation. So first of all, we all know that what is soil. The small just particles of the rocks and the other things is known as the soil. So here in the very first paragraph it is given that over a period of thousand of years, the rock that once formed the earth crust cooled. They were weathered by wind, rain and the sun. They broke up into smaller and smaller pieces and finally becomes the topsoil. Here in the earth crust, the rocks and all the things which are hard in is the rock substance are there. So due to the wind, heavy rain and the sunlight, what happened? It just break down into smaller and smaller pieces and just forms a topsoil. So the last layer is a hard rock. Then after there is some of the big stones. Then after small stones, and then after very small stones, and then after it forms a topsoil. So here first of all our topic is topsoil. What is topsoil? Let us see that. What is topsoil? The soil which we can see with our naked eye, which is on the top of the surface, that is known as the topsoil. Okay, so it is given that there is an danger of the topsoil that what it just erode. When there is a soil erosion, all the topsoil just move and just erode the soil. Okay, so here in textbook it is given that topsoil is a very valuable resource as it nourishes all our food and crop and allow them to grow. You have already learnt in that it took thousands of years the parent bedrock to turn into rocky places, then into subsoil and finally into the subsoil. However, half an hour of torrential rain or heavy high-speed wind is enough to wash or blow away or erode the topsoil if it is unprotected. So here what happens is the parent rock just takes thousands of years to convert into topsoil. What happens? First of all, parent rock which is there, it just convert into the stones, small stones, and then after it converts into the subsoil, then after it converts into the topsoil. Okay students, and it is highly unprotected because half an hour of heavy rainfall, very speedy winds and this whole thing, it can erode the topsoil. Okay students, so it is all about the topsoil. So there is some of the natures of the topsoil. Let us see the nature of the topsoil. Here it is given that topsoil has the following characteristics. First one, the topsoil is soft, fine and light and can be easily carried away by the wind and water. So topsoil is very soft and it can be easily taken by the wind or by the water. So it will be eroded while soil erosion takes place. So it is very light. Second one, it contains decayed organic matter of plants and animals and so it is fertile. Here first of all we know that the plants, trees and this all the things are for it just the plants and the trees just hold the soil. The topsoil is held by the trees and by the plants, by the roots, which roots are there which just hold the soil. Okay, the roots hold the soil. So if we just grow more and more trees, so what happens? The soil erosion will not take place. Okay, so as we just remove the trees, the holding capacity will be decreased. So as the holding capacity of the soil decreases, it will move along with the water and the wind. Okay students, then after it is fertile. Why? Because all the dead animals and decayed animals, just all the nutrition which is there in it, it is transferred by some of the bacteria into the soil. Okay students, and then after moving further to the soil erosion or degradation. Soil erosion, soil erosion. So first of all, what is soil erosion? How the soil erosion takes place? Okay, so soil erosion, when there is not the trees and plants in some of the areas, what happens? Due to the heavy wind and heavy rainfall, all the topsoil will move along with the wind and with the water. So what will happen? It will just move, and there will be the soil will be eroded. So it is known as the soil erosion, and it also contains some of the nutrition and all the things. As if I tell that the parent rock is rich with some of the minerals, some of the ions, then the topsoil will also be rich with the nutrition and the ions and some of the minerals which the parent rock is. Okay students, then after soil erosion, if we just grow more and more trees, then we can control the soil erosion. Why? Because as I said earlier, that what happens, the roots of the soil just hold the soil, hold the topsoil. So what will happen? It will just hold the soil, and the wind and heavy rainfall will not affect on the topsoil, because the soil is held by the trees, roots of the trees and the plants. Okay students, here I am just reading some of the points. That is, very often we have heard about soil erosion taking place all over the world, and therefore an increasing desertification of the land. Soil erosion is the carrying away of the topsoil by wind and rain, overgrazing by animals and plants of the same crop over and over again in a place causes soil degradation. Here there are some of the things which cause the soil erosion and soil degradation. So soil erosion, it is just deforestation. Okay, due to the deforestation, soil is eroded, and also due to the animals which graze over and over one time only at one place only. So all the roots will be taken by the animals, so the holding capacity of the soil will be decreased. So it will be converted into desertification of the land. And then after, here it is also written about the soil degradation, when same plant or plants just grow at one place, so all the soil will be degraded. Okay, the soil will be degraded. So here, moving further, increasing soil erosion is due to the increasing deforestation, that is cutting down of forest. Once the forest protected the land, the roots of the trees held the soil in place. The trees reduce the speed of running water or wind. Now human population is increasing, and more land is required for agriculture and for building towns. So more and more trees have been cutted. This leaves the soil loose and it erodes by wind and run water. For example, cutting down the trees for quarrying and mining in the Silicon hills has led to soil erosion as well as frequently landslides. Here, first of all, due to the deforestation, the soil is eroded. Due to the deforestation, what happens? The holding capacity of the soil is decreasing. Why? Because the root just hold the soil. So when it will just do not hold, so the soil will remain loose. So it will just go with the water or with the wind, heavy winds and the water. Okay, so it will move. So first cause is deforestation. Second one, that is overgrazing. So overgrazing, when the animals just graze over one place for a long period of time, then the soil will be loosened, and what will happen? Soil can be eroded or soil can be degraded. Okay, so here it is, overgrazing by animals is another cause of soil erosion. Animals normally bite off the grass above the ground, leaving the roots intact. If too many animals graze on the same piece of land, they eat up all available grass, including the roots. This again leaves the soil unprotected and exposed to the force of nature. So, as I have told earlier, when the animals just eat the grass in one place only, so the roots will also be taken out. Okay, so the soil will remain loose, so it can be chances of the erosion. Then after, big sheep farms in Australia have many pet dogs with fencing and gate in between. Once the grass is eaten by the sheep in one pet dog, a gate is opened and the sheep are driven to the next pet dog. Grass is allowed to grow in the first pet dog before the sheep are led into it again. Here, what happens in Australia? The big pet dogs are there. Big sheep, big farms of sheep. What just they do? Here it is. So what they just do some of the parts in the area. What they do like this. So what happens? Here it will be a gate. Here it will be a gate. Okay. So what happens? All the ships are first of all taken over here. Okay. From this side, here is also a gate. Okay. In this side, here is also a gate. Okay. Then what happens when the ships are taken over here for some period of time? They are grazed over here. They are just allowed to graze over here. Then after they transfer the ships from this side to this side. They just transfer the ship from this side to this side. Okay, students. And then when they just eat here the grass, enough grass, and then after they just take them to this side, and then after they will take them out, and then after again when this and this are just eaten, these two pet dogs grass are eaten up till here the first one is grown, and when this and this are eaten, and then this one is grown, and then after this. So this is a cycle. So the cycle will remain. So the soil will not be eroded. Okay, students. Here moving further. Third one, it is the soil conservation. So, due to these some of the causes, we have seen the deforestation and this overgrazing of the animals. Now, this was the soil erosion. Okay, now we will see soil conservation. So, what is it? How the soil is conserved from the erosion and degradation. So, first of all, first one, that is reforestation. Okay, reforestation means we have to just reforest, means we have to just start growing the forest area again, means we have to just grow more and more trees, so they just hold their root, just hold the soil. Okay, so what will happen? The soil will not be eroded. Okay, students, soil will not be eroded. So as it is written over here, that is, in India, poorly planned development programs are destroying the environment. Soil can be eroded by rain, running water, wind, advancing sand dunes in deserts, and by poor drainage. Here, due to some of the poorly planned development program, the India is just not taking just their eye on some this kind of the things. Okay, then after here it is, the soil can be protected from erosion, that is conserved by different methods. Some of the things are given below. First of all, here it is reforestation. So what is reforestation? If I say we have to just grow more and more trees, okay, we have to just grow more and more trees, so the reforestation will occur, and the roots of the trees will just hold the soil and it will not be eroded. Okay, students, it will not be eroded. Then after, If trees are cut down for wood or other purposes, new trees should be planted in their place. Tall trees, apart from holding the soil in place, reduce the speed of the wind and prevent the soil from being blown away. The tree also attract cloud. It rains more in place where there are trees. If it rains more trees grow there. So deforestation should always be accomplished by the reforestation. As here in this paragraph, they just tell us that what if you are just having a tree and you just cut it off, then you just plant a different tree on the other side or anything anywhere else. If you just cut one tree, you have to just grow one tree. Okay, students, they are telling that. And also due to these tall trees, what happens, the wind which is in the speed, it just reduce the speed of the wind so that the soil is not blown away with the wind, so the soil erosion can be curbed from it. Second one, that is terrace farming. We have to just do terrace farming so that we can use maximum space. So here it is written, on hill slopes where there are no trees, rainwater flown down the slope washes away the soil. One way of the conserving soil in such way is cutting the slope into steps and terraces. So farming can be done on the terrace by building small berms and the edge of the step to hold the water back. Such farming is called terrace farming. So in the hill slope, the slopes are cutted and there the farming is done, that is known as the terrace farming. So what will happen, the soil which is on the mountain, it will just go with the water when there is rain or anything, it will also move with the heavy winds. So if there were trees like that by the terrace farming, so it will just hold the soil and the soil will not move with the water and with the wind. Okay, this was the second one. Third one, it is crop rotation. We as know the soil, when one plant is repeatedly planted over the one place only, then it just erode the soil, destroy the soil. So what will happen if you just rotate your crop? If you have just planted one crop in this year, okay, then you have to use different crop for plantation in the next season. Okay, you have to just grow the seasonal crops. Okay, so what will happen, the soil will not be degraded. Then here it is, repeated cultivation of same crop drains the soil of some specific nutrition. To avoid this, it is better to practice crop rotation. For example, a rice crop can be followed by a bean crop. Rice crop consumes nitrogenous salts from the soil and bean crop restores this nutrition to the soil. Thus, the soil is not depleted for nutrition. Okay, and fourth one, overgrazing by animals also should not be allowed. Here in the overgrazing of animals, it has the different paradox due to which the overgrazing will be not there. So these are some of the things to conserve the soil conservation things. And then after the last one, that is the soil formation is very slow process and soil is a valuable resource. It is a non-renewable resource, as we cannot make fresh soil in one lifetime. Therefore, we have to take steps to conserve the soil. The government has taken some measures to control rapidly decreasing forest cover. One Mahotsav is one such program which involves planting of trees where government nutritions supply sapling for reforestation. If one tree is cut down, two should be planted in its place. So this is all about some of the government planning. From that there is one Mahotsav, so in which the plants are grown. If one is cutted, you have to just grow two trees. Okay, it is done by the government. So here we have just revised whole chapter, that is chapter number 1, soil erosion and soil conservation. Okay students, now here we just complete this video. So in your homework I think there is nothing. If you have any doubt, you can just tell us or just message me in the group. Okay, and in next video what we just do, we will do the revision of the second chapter, and the second chapter, that is the air and its uses. That is our second chapter. Okay students, we will meet in the next video. Bye students.